and one for the intelligent as fellas get. Listen, let's settle this. Be clear, I can fall back 7 years, still it ain't no one ahead of me. Consider it a blessing if you get to stand next to me. 5-star general, OG veteran, cake like.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Let me fix this fucking camera. I can make that shit fucking square. Well, a lot of people have asked me lately for a story time, and I try to explain to people the story times come about when the story in my head has been brought back to me. Like, I don't sit around and think about things to talk about story time wise that would be good stories, but I'll sit there and something from my past will just come back and fucking like slam me in the face. And as soon as that comes up, like I was just sitting on the couch just now watching C.T. Fletcher's My Magnificent Recession. It's the second time I've seen that. I watched it once at the Olympia last year at the premiere, and I'm sitting there watching it, and one of my story times came rushing to my, like, the forefront of my mind. So I guess the basis of this story time is to try to, you know, the older you get, the more you think of things, the more you try to realize, or you come to realize that sometimes somebody can tell you something in a certain way, it's not going to click. Sometimes somebody can try to beat something into you, it may not click. Then one day it just clicks. So about 5 or 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that, maybe 8 years ago, whatever, things clicked where, you know, I think it was like when I was at the end of my heroin addiction. It's probably 15 years ago. Stealing is wrong. Bottom line, stealing is wrong. Leading up to the heroin addiction, you know, the stealing was something that you did to get by. You know, where I came from, it was part of life, to be honest with you. But something clicked. Not that I hadn't been taught not to steal. Not that my parents had failed to teach me, they didn't do it the right way. It doesn't click sometimes. So we're going to start story time when I'm very young. We're going to say probably about 7 years old, in about 3rd grade. And back then we didn't have a lot of money, and everybody had cash. There was no credit cards or anything like that when I was a kid. And I remember my mom had, you know, $20, $30 in her purse, whatever the case may be. It wasn't a whole lot of money. And I was at school, and kids would like bring candy to school and like sell it to each other. They had like these little action figures called muscle guys or whatever the fuck they were. They'd sell them, they'd trade them, they'd do all this shit. Actually, when I was a kid, even fireworks in junior high school, they'd sell each other fireworks. I mean, it was almost like a fucking, like, being in prison where you would like barter shit and sell shit. That's what was going on in elementary school with me, all right? Barrington, Rhode Island at Primrose Hill. And I got on the bus, and some of the kids had money. I mean, like $1.50, whatever, lunch money. And what they do is they wouldn't eat lunch, and they'd kind of, you know, keep their lunch money. But my mom would make me lunch, so I didn't have lunch money. So I decided to take like $10 out of my mom's purse, cash. And I took it to school. And I had it at school, and I was showing my friends and stuff, and they were like, wow, because it was like $10. That was a lot for a 17-year-old. I was like fucking, basically, I was like fucking balling at fucking 10 years old, or 7 years old with $10. And I was so like happy because people were like showing me attention. We're not making me popular in one day, but I was becoming more popular throughout the day because I had some money. And I got back on the bus, headed home that afternoon, and realized when I got home, if my mom had found out, when she was gonna find out, I was fucking dead. I was fucked. There's no excuse for this. I knew it was wrong. You know, I used it for the, you know, the popularity, the attention, etc. Try to blend in with the crowd and be one of the guys, you know, stuff at school. 7 years old, right? I'm gonna fucking die. My mom is gonna kill me. Like, she's gonna kill me now. My mom and dad were the first ones to hit me in the face. And that is something like when I saw C.T. Fletcher say my daddy was the first one to punch me in the face, I was the first one to get hit in the face. It was a very common thing. Smack in the butt was, you know, the least of your worries. You getting slapped in the face, it was usually an open hand. I mean, let's face facts, you didn't get punched in the face as a little kid. Slapped in the face really hard, though. Even a backhand going this way with the knuckles in the face, yeah. So I get home, on the way home, I'm on the bus. Before I get home, I got to get rid of it. So, hey, guys, stand up on the bus. Do you guys want some money? And they're all like, what the fuck? All the kids on the bus are like, what? I'm like, here. So I'm handing out the money to these kids. $10. $1 here, $1 here, $1 here, boom, gone. So I get home. Sure enough, mom is waiting. Did you steal money? Nope. Lied right to her face. Nope. Didn't steal the money, Mom. Where's the money? She goes through my fucking lunchbox, goes through my backpack. No money. Now, I must have had this very guilty look on my face because I wasn't hiding the lie very well. I wasn't selling it. And I finally said, I don't have it. So she said, did you take it? I said, yes. Where is it? I said, I gave it to the kids on the bus. That's all she had to hear. At this point, my mom, who was normally the one who was fucking cuckoo when her fucking temper blew off, got calm. She was like, we're going to talk to your father when he gets home. Now, my dad gets up at work for like 3 o'clock in the morning. He's out of the house by like 4. Works from like 4 to 5. Gets home at like fucking 5:45. Tired all day. He's a truck driver. He's been delivering actually for Frito-Lay, putting chips and shit together, displays, and doing his route and shit. And he's going to come home and hear that and there's no cell phone, so she can't call him ahead of time. This is like the fucking 80s. He's going to come home and find out that I took money. This is probably, my brother's maybe a year old. She's a baby still. He comes in the house. I'm sitting there. My mom says, why don't you tell your dad what you did? I said, no. So my mom says, he stole money out of my purse. And my dad's face turned fucking purple. And he said, what? He said he stole $10 out of my purse and gave it to the kids on the bus. My dad took his belt off right then and there, picked me up off the ground by one arm, was dangling me, and whipping me in the legs and the back with the belt, screaming. As I wiggled out of his hands, he dropped. The belt whipped me across the face. I went down, obviously holding my face, with a belt fucking whip thing like across up here. And he hit me a few more times in the legs and the butt before picking me up and putting me in my room in my bed and telling me to stay there unpunished. And my dad was about 6'2", 245 pounds. Big, strong. I was 7. And to this day, like right now, I got like, I don't know if you've ever had this feeling like you get this like ringing in your ears and like your jaw kind of clenches up, like, because you can feel something like it just happened. Like I still get the feeling of that belt at 40 years old across my fucking face. And there was no I'm sorry. There was no, oh, we went too far, none of that shit. There was, you're punished. We're going to call the fucking school. You're losing your, all your privileges, like your bike and stuff like that for, a month or whatever it was. And I never stole from my parents again. Till I was a drug addict. Once I became a drug addict, stealing pills from them, money from them, fucking whatever, I didn't care about it anymore. Like, I didn't care about getting whipped in the face. I mean, I probably stopped getting beatings when I was about 11 or 12 years old. I think that's roughly when my parents would stop hitting me. And I don't want to make it sound like I was an abused kid. I don't make it sound like I walk in the house and my parents just beat the shit out of me. Everything I got whooped for, I fucking deserved, and probably tenfold. They probably should have whipped me for shit that they didn't even know about. So I probably got off easy. But the bottom line is, even getting whipped with a belt across the face, I just understood the pain that came with stealing and not really what it did to them or how they felt. I didn't understand how my parents felt. I knew they're mad. The betrayal, the disappointment that I made the wrong decision, the disrespectfulness to them, I didn't understand any of that. Later on in life, I went back to stealing again as a drug addict because I didn't understand that still. And it wasn't until later on when I was done with that and I started really digging deep into myself and getting more into my own thoughts and emotions and feelings and stuff like that, that I really felt people had disappointed me. People had disrespected me. All these different feelings that I had for different circumstances kind of blended together, and I said, holy shit, this is what people feel like when this happens. This is what people feel like when that happens. I don't want people to feel like this, even if I don't know them, even if they're my worst enemies. I don't want them to feel like this, so I'm not going to do this to them. And I can sit here at 40 years old and say that, this story that I'm telling you right now was worth taking a whooping for. Because I'm able to tell you now, not only that you'll figure it out, but maybe you're listening to my words. What I'm saying is going to make it click for you. And if my words click for you, it's going to save you getting whooped in the face too with a belt or a boomerang shoe. The boomerang shoe, your brother throws a shoe from like across the room, hits you in the fucking head and bangs you and knocks you down immediately. Yeah, that's the boomerang shoe. But yeah, I guess that's just how things were when we were kids growing up. They were rough. There was no such thing as fucking child abuse. I mean, child abuse, you'd have to like fucking throw your kid down the stairs. hit him with a spatula in the face on the way down and set him on fire at the bottom of the stairs to be considered, child abuse. But nowadays it's like if you yell at the kid like you're grounded, they're like, oh, child abuse, and you get fucking arrested for it. But I'll never forget some of the things that happened to me as a kid vividly, and that's another reason why I don't have kids, is I remember things from when I was that young that are so vivid in my mind, like they happened yesterday, like I just watched them on TV, that I'll never forget. And I never wanted to cause another human being pain, especially like my child. So it's another reason why I don't have kids. So hope this story time can help you guys with something, and something may click for some of you. If not, the people that hate me will probably be entertained by the fact that if I get whipped in the face with a belt at 7 years old, they'll probably fucking get off on that fact. So bottom line is, don't steal. Bios3Training@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.bios3training.com is the blog. It's the Don't Steal Bicep, and we're out.